So here we are then in qualifying, and you could see we've instantly got a braking system fault, so that's not going to help. At least load.
Okay, here's an update. We've got a leak in the hydraulic system, so it's going to be a few minutes before we can get you back out on track, I'm afraid.
Can at least load our setup. So pretty sure this is a no, it's a custom setup. Yeah, I think we'll just skip the repair time and eventually head out for our first flying lap in this session. So here we are then starting our lap across the line. 13.5 minutes to go. In turn 1 we're going to brake after the black board at the top, cutting curb and extending as much as you can, opening DRS for the second time this lap. As you brake just before the black box, big screen freeze, that's why we're for some reason in 6th gear. Because now we're already up in 7th, it's not ideal. But the screen freeze got me and now we're up in 8th gear. But anyway, sector 1 complete. 6th gear, the newly profiled right hander. So we come around another new section, of course was a tight right hander here, but now it's all flat out. As we now make our way into the final sector, the high speed chicane, 6th gear, throwing the car in, lovely line, the car stuck to the ground very well there too. Final couple of corners, brake just before the 50-meter board, clipping that inside curb, which on the Fanatec actually you feel quite a bit. As you now head through the final 2 corners, clipping the inside curb, there may be a bit too much. Round the final corner we go. So coming to the end of the first lap, across the line, it was an okay lap. We just had a screen freeze which hindered us from going faster into this next corner. We don't have fuel, of course, so not much we can do, as we again have a screen freeze into that corner. But anyway, we'll return back to the pits and then we'll go for a final run in this session. So here we are then at the end of our final run, a 3.5 improvement, but we stay in P8 as Esteban Ocon goes ahead of us. So sadly no position improvement, but pace looks good, way better than in Jeddah. So without further ado, let's jump into Sunday.
The crowd are here and it's brilliant to see them lining the track here in Albert Park. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome everybody to the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso and Mick Schumacher, Ocon, Norris, and McLaren and Alex Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Guan Yu Zhou and Bottas, Perez, Vettel, Nicholas Latifi and Yuki Tsunoda. Gasly and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are then on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix, round number 2 of the season, starting from P9 here, way better starting position than we had out in Jeddah. Didn't change the AI. The AI is the same, but I've just gotten used to the game more. You can see medium soft selected. We'll go 0.4 extra fuel, and wing wise we'll do +1 click there. So yeah, I think we're good. We're gonna head on to the formation lap, and I'll come back to you once we're over. Let's just quickly check the race director, because everyone in the field is starting on softs. So we'll see if we did something wrong. But anyway, onto the formation lap we'll go, and we'll warm up the tires, and I'll see you at the end of it. So here we are then at the end of the formation lap. Can we park correctly, or will we be disqualified and set back a bit? Just doing some last minute burnouts, get some temperature in the mirrors.
Okay,
That's good.
There, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
So here we go then again. So we've got 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, and it is lights out. And we are underway. And as expected on the mediums, we don't get the best of starts. Gonna pull to the inside though to try and re-overtake Alex Albon into turn 1. Very cautious to not spin there, as Albon just about gets ahead. Will he go defensive? No, he's gonna dive bomb our teammate, and we dive bomb the two of them as we're 3 wide going through here. We get pushed off track, and we got an instant 6 seconds. So we're gonna flashback that back up to this point here. So we're gonna big lunge down the inside of Alex Albon, and we regain the position up into P9. So we already get the first warning. That's not good, as we've got Albon challenging us into that corner. Interesting things, as you can see. Because of that, we've already dropped out of Lando's DRS, so we really need a good 2 laps now to get back within DRS range, and ideally Lando would battle, as we get a second warning already. Lando and Schumi are fighting. I think Schumacher went a bit deep. Lando gets past, still 1.1 behind, so not great. As Albon is right on the back of us, has a bit of the moment now of the final corner. Onto lap 3 we go then, DRS now enabled.
DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Onto lap number 5 then. Yellow flags up ahead. I wonder what happened, as we've got George Russell there rejoining on the track quite dangerously, but that promotes us up to P8. Mick Schumacher is into the pits.
Okay,
So I
Schumacher.
believe we'll take over the race lead for 1 lap. No, sorry, for 2 laps. As we set a new personal best. Try and keep going at this pace. George Russell boxes for the hard tires, that's interesting. So here we are then coming towards the end of lap number 9. We're gonna box this lap for softs. We're gonna try and have a good final sector here. Bit of a slide. Using some more ERS. Here we go then into the pit lane. We have a good pit entry. 0.9 second stop. As we're onto the soft tires now. Will take us a bit to warm them up, but we've got the faster tires, so
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
you can see we're actually just as far behind Schumi as we were when we boxed, so that's pretty good. We just need to warm up the tires now. And once they're warm, we can start pushing. So on to lap number 12 then. Gap up ahead now, only down to 2.5 seconds. So we set a new personal best. Yellow flags up ahead. Max Verstappen out of this race, so that's yet another free position for us. The other Red Bull, of course, with a grid penalty, I believe behind us, or just a bad quali session. As I don't think Checo will be able to gain enough. He's not gaining much right now. As we push on to try and close the gap to Schumacher. I'm trying not to use battery, so I've got battery to overtake him. At the same time, I feel like I don't really need battery to overtake him with the grip difference. So here we are then heading on to the final lap of the race. We basically don't have any battery.
Final lap of the race.
So we try and get close to Schumacher. Right on the limit there. But he's just pulling away. He's just got the battery, so looks like we're not gonna make a move. The AI is still able to just ramp up their engines, and he's out of the RS range already. It's just insane. As fair play, you get a penalty, so that is it then. P5 and P7. That's pretty good, starting from P7 and P9, or P8 and P9. So definitely can't complain. But yeah, Checo shouldn't get us either. So round the final corner for the Australian Grand Prix from P9 to P7. I think that's a good drive.
Right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A great race then and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team strategies. They got all those things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Well, Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. So let's review the updated driver standings. Charles Leclerc's points today take him to the top of the championship standings. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So that was it then, the Australian Grand Prix in our McLaren driver career mode from P8, P9 to P5, P7. Solid recovery. Sad I couldn't get Schumacher there, but I feel like we gave it away in the first stint. Second stint was good, as we were more used to the car. But Lewis Hamilton wins, and look at that. Alpine P3, P4, Red Bull P8 and a DNF, and Ferrari P2 and P12. Well, so it definitely helped us, the two Red Bulls, Carlos Sainz and George Russell being behind us. Those would all be ahead of us, of course. So that definitely helped. So, yeah, by now every team already has gotten a point except for Aston Martin. You can see Alexander Albon finishing in P10 for that single point for Williams. But yeah, that is it with this episode. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to help myself out on YouTube and on the algorithm. Yeah, thanks for watching, and from me it's take care and goodbye.